So here we are at the lovely Bidlake Manor, and we're just going to fill in the final bit of the family history, which wouldn't be complete without Dad's sporting highlights. So Dad, tell us a little bit about your sporting life, highlights of.
Well, the sporting life highlights started playing football in the little paddock outside the cottage at Bellever with Bernard Cook and Peter Vowden and David Thompson. That was before I went to Tavistock Grammar School. And when I started at Tavistock Grammar School, I thought I was going to be able to play in the Colts football team in the first year, but that didn't happen. But anyway, I did play cricket for the Colts in the first year I was there, and then football and cricket in the second year, and in the third year I played cricket for the first 11, which was pretty unusual because I was still in the junior school. And I also played hockey for the school Colts and later on for the school first 11. And the last season that I was there in the spring term of 1956, we went unbeaten with the boys hockey, and we drew one match and won all the rest.
Amazing.
And the master that taught us, Charlie Charleston, was an Indian chap who I think had played good standard hockey in India, and he was very pleased that he had been able to coach. I think he said in a write-up that he did that he'd been trying for years, and at last he'd got a group of boys together who made a very good team.
Oh, how nice. Right, so Charlie Charleston does not sound like an Indian name to me.
Well,
He was.
definitely
very
Indian.
Good. Very good. Oh, I didn't. That's news. All news.
And in the school review of the summer of '56, he did a pen review of each of the players in the team.
Oh yes, including you.
And including me.
What position did you play, Dad?
Inside left. And he said I was, what was it he said? Very clever with the stick, but his one fault is that he makes too many sticks in the circle, because at that time you weren't allowed to have the stick above your shoulder to hit the ball.
Yeah, so that was a foul, basically.
That was a foul, yeah.
Yeah.
So after school, I played football for Horrabridge for a season, during which we won the Bedford Cup. The next season, I signed on and played a few games for Grenville United in the P&D League in Plymouth. But then I broke my leg on a motorbike, so I missed the last half of the 57, 58 season before, and then when I came back to playing football and cricket, we revived the Roborough football team, and we had quite a good team, gradually got promoted, and we ended up in the Plymouth Combination Premier League. We never won a knockout cup, but as I say, we did win the Senior League to get promoted to the Premier League.
So when you were growing up in Roborough, there wasn't a cricket or football?
Yes, after the war in 1947, they had a football team which folded up in about 1967. The cricket started, and that was going the whole time. So cricket-wise, I used to go along initially as scorer and started playing for them when I was about 14 and played for them until I retired although of course I had moved to Hinckley, so I wasn't playing for Roborough then, but I played cricket till I was 60.
And mainly a batsman, is that right?
No, an all-rounder, fast bowling and batting. I had scored 3 centuries in my life, and I must have taken between 700 and 1,000 wickets, I should say.
Really?
I would say so.
Yeah.
My other claim to fame, which I claim to be the best day of my life, was winning the school senior cross country race
Yeah.
in the spring of 1956. And before that, in the juniors, I had come 7th, 6th, and 5th. In the first year in the senior race, I'd come 27th, and the last year I actually won it.
Very good.
So I was quite pleased with
Yeah.
that.
And the social life around the football and cricket was a lot of the, was a big part of the whole thing, wasn't it? Because a lot of your mates were cricketers and footballers, weren't they,
Oh
Dad?
yeah,
And,
yeah. I mean,
used to go on tour, if I remember
Peter
rightly.
Bowden and David Thompson were the main big mates. Yeah,
Mm.
and the football we went on tour to Brittany,
I remember those dolls.
and
Yeah.
we played 3 matches over there. And I remember they set up a sort of, well, not a banquet, but like a meal in a village hall,
Yeah.
and they started singing songs. And never told you about this.
Yeah.
I started singing She'll Be Coming Round the Mountains when he comes. And then when I'd finished, the French people shouted, Toutes les femmes, toutes les femmes. And all the women lined up and walked past me and gave me a kiss. That was all the women, toutes les femmes.
So you were obviously the star performer then, Dad.
Well, I suppose the biggest chapter in Roborough cricket's life was when we got to the regional final of the Hague Village
I remember
Knockout
this.
Cup.
I remember this.
We got beaten by Troon, who went on to win the final. But we had a very good
So
team then.
Troon in Scotland.
Sorry?
Troon in Scotland? Am I thinking
No,
about?
Troon in Cornwall.
Oh,
It was-
Troon in Cornwall.
So then we got through to the regional, which was the Southwest
Yeah.
final. And yeah, we had about 2,000 spectators came to Roborough.
I remember
But
it.
we
We
couldn't
weren't
win.
very
then,
old.
Dan?
What year would that have been? Some
I
early
would say
70s?
about 1970, something like that.
Yeah. I remember
Might have been a
it.
bit later, might have been near the 80s, I don't know.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
were definitely old enough to sort of understand what was going on.
Because
I
we had
remember it
2 or
all being
3
exciting.
Plymouth Argyle players played for us. Jim Furnell, the ex-Arsenal goalkeeper, and Keith Allen. I can't remember where he came from, but he played for Argyle in their promotion season.
So they used to play with you play cricket during the football off season, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I always wondered what would have happened if we had got through to the final of the Hague Cup, because of course Jim Furnell by then and Keith Allen would have been back to playing professional
Oh, really?
football at the
Yeah.
weekend. I doubt if they would have
They would have been able
released
to.
them to play. I
no,
don't know.
No.
Might have, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so my memory of your sporting career, apart from the highlights, is you travelling back from holidays to play cricket over the summer.
Oh yeah, well, we were staying in Ilfracombe
Yes, I remember that.
and we were away for a fortnight. And I decided I would go home to Roborough, which is about 80 miles, to play cricket on the Saturday. I picked up Uncle George Short in Hatherley on the way, took into Roborough for a day, and came back. I don't know if we can't remember whether we won or lost.
I don't care.
Another day, I was with my gran and granddad in Hatherley, and I had agreed, I was only about 15 or 16. I cycled up to Hatherley, and my case went on the Bourne's bus, and I was selected, well not selected, but filled in for Hatherley, and it rained, and in the morning it was cancelled, and I thought, oh well, perhaps Roborough will be playing in the afternoon, so I cycled back to Roborough, much to my gran and granddad's surprise and annoyance, I think, and got back to find their match was off as well. So I cycled all the way back
Yeah.
from Hatherley to Roebuck.
Not a flat ride, actually, is it?
No,
Hatherley
it's
to
all
Roebuck,
right going
gosh.
downhill through Mary Tavy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I had a Raleigh Lenton 3-speed bike
Mm.
with a hub dynamo.
So were most of the boys your age, when you were a teenager, were most of them playing football or cricket?
Yeah, that was
So that was, you know, the...
football, cricket and bird nesting was about
Yeah,
the limit of
yes,
our
of the... Yeah, yeah, yeah.
social activities.
And how early in your relationship did Mum realise she'd be doing cricket teas almost every weekend?
Well, I think she had been used to watching and listening to football
Yes.
because of John and Paul.
Yes, yeah,
And really, you used to come and watch Roebuck play, didn't you?
yeah.
Well, Gran
Well, and your
didn't
mother
she?
did,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Before,
Yeah.
I mean, before we went to Tavistock School even, perhaps.
Yes,
Mm.
I think it could
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah.
There were,
Well, Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
And I mean, the field was very close to the village, wasn't it? It was only up the lane and, yeah.
there were three brothers played for Roebuck football team. Peter, Ernie and Bill Rich. They lived in the Waterworks house, you know, up, opposite the football field.
Mm,
There's a house.
yes, yes.
Were
Oh,
they
yeah, I know, yeah.
Going up the
I
Waterworks.
can
hill.
picture it, yeah, yeah.
Sam
yeah,
Rich, the Waterworks man, used to live there,
Yeah,
and they had three sons, and they
Yeah.
all played for Roebuck.
yeah. But, and you did a lot for the cricket anyway. You did a lot of the groundsman work
Oh
as
yeah,
well,
I
didn't
used
you?
to look after the ground, yeah. And,
Which was why we spent most of our Saturday mornings
Not that
playing
we
around.
minded.
In the no, we loved it. We loved that, and I have very happy memories of helping Mum with cricket teas. And, you know, playing
I
around,
always
and they'd all
remember-
clatter in, and
we must have played Old Suttonians, I suppose, on a Saturday, and one of their players was a trainee chemist in the lab in Plymouth, playing for the opposition, and you three sat on a seat, and we brought you your tea, and you sat nicely and ate your tea, and he said, well, I've never seen children sit and eat tea so
oh,
patiently.
yes, very good, Mum. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the first day that Susan walked was when we were out in the football field on a Sunday afternoon
Oh, was it?
with a paddling pool and the pushchair. And I remember you standing up and looking around. Look at me! The race was soon caught
That
on.
was
Yeah.
the runt.
Oh, and when I remember birthday picnics in the field, it was like our second, country estate,
Yeah,
really, wasn't
yeah.
it? We spent hours and
Yeah.
hours there.
When I left school, I did end up with an honours cricket cap and an honours scarf for hockey
Yeah,
and cricket.
yeah, pretty good
So
going.
would you have fancied being a professional sportsman, Dad, if you'd had the opportunity?
I think I would have,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, everybody did. I used to
Yeah.
think, when I used to go and watch Argyle, I said I'd take my boots in case they're short.
Oh,
But I never got asked.
never
no.
got the nod.
no.
And didn't your dad, wasn't there something about him
He
being
used to play
offered-
centre half for Hatherley,
Yeah,
and he always said that he was offered a trial for
yeah,
Exeter.
yes.
So I think he
yes,
was quite a good
Yeah.
player.
Yeah,
Well, he'd have been nimble, you know, he was wiry, I should
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
Grandad,
But he
sure,
never-
wasn't he?
He never took much to cricket.
no, no, no. Well, there you go, Dad.
But my lady
Got plenty of time,
sports,
everybody.
the girls' sports mistress, raised my standing quite a bit one day when she told another boy that I was the best all-rounder in the school, academically and sporting-wise.
Oh, damn. That's
That's not bad.
not
Well,
bad.
there
Were you
weren't
head boy,
many.
Dwayne? Were you head boy?
Eh?
Were
no,
you head boy?
I didn't stay in
Were
the
you
sixth
head
form.
girl? No.
Well, she was a prefect.
You were prefect, yeah. Of course, yeah, you didn't stay for the sixth one.
No, I mean, there weren't many that played first team cricket, hockey,
Yeah,
and won the cross
Yeah,
No
yeah.
wonder
country.
you didn't
Yeah,
have any time for
yeah.
your work.
yeah.
Dad.
So you were a pretty good all-rounder, actually, weren't you?
Mm.
Mm.
So there we go.
Thanks, Dad.
Just before
And
Mum
Mum,
falls
of course,
asleep.
Well,
Mum was a
don't
hockey player.
disregard
Yeah.
Mum's sporting prowess.
Yes.
She played hockey for school.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Yeah.
Left back.
Yeah.
And did you ever score a goal?
No,
You
I
always tell you remember about one big whack that you
Yeah.
did from one end of the pitch to the other
It
or
was
something.
just about, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't for an ordinary game. It was something special, but I
Mm.
can't remember what it was. Anyway, I was left back,
Yeah, yeah,
and suddenly I got the call
Yeah. yeah,
to my place,
Yeah.
and I went from there,
yeah,
which was very near the back,
yeah, yeah,
right across and
Oh.
up to there.
yeah.
Scored a goal.
Yeah, very good. Very
Nice.
good. Yeah.
I don't think I did it very many times.
I think the hockey rules have changed. Though. I think I'm right in saying I used to bully off to start with,
Yeah, we used to
Yeah,
bully
we
her.
used to.
and I think
Yeah.
you could only score from inside the circle, couldn't you?
Yeah,
I'm not sure actually.
yeah. Oh, and I think they changed the way that you take free hits as well, haven't they? There's some change of rule.
Well, you have a roll in now, don't you?
Yeah,
Mm.
rather than a
Yeah, no, we never really took to hockey.
not
Partly
particularly.
because it was, I don't know, we never got taught it really, did we? You just had to go out there and
Not with
have a
Miss-
go.
It always
what was she
depends.
called?
Bartrand.
It always
Miss
depended
Bartram.
whether you had a
Yeah.
keen
Bartram.
mistress or
Yeah,
master.
partly,
Yeah.
yeah, because she wasn't really very good,
What
was she,
was
Miss
the-
Bartram?
Tennis is a social skill, girls.
Miss
Tennis is a
Miss
social
Druitt.
skill.
And Miss Keane,
Miss Keane
Yeah.
was the one.
Margaret Keane, she died of cancer.
Mm. Mm. So you had good sports. Obviously, Tavistock Grammar was quite into sports.
Oh, I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but we had, until Arthur Bull came, who came from where Lucy's been,
Loughborough.
Loughborough.
Loughborough, we didn't have a dedicated sports master.
Mm.
Various ones used to come and
Oh,
umpire
I see.
and
I see.
referee. They
Yeah,
weren't dedicated,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we had some big
Yeah.
keen.
Yeah. 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 Jolly good, Dad. So you know, sports kept you going, really, didn't they? Right up until I mean, yeah. I mean, I can remember you playing cricket for Hinckley
Yeah,
into quite advanced. Well, older than we are now. You were playing, weren't you? When you were
played till I was 60.
60.
But
yeah.
I think I could interject that
Yeah.
Dad also did quite a bit for your father, didn't he? In the garden and
Yeah,
all.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You must have been all round pretty fit, Dad.
when I was young, I wasn't allowed to go out and play football until I'd done a bit of gardening.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds fair.
It stands you in good stead.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Good. Well, thanks for that final bit of family
Quite
history.
all
We'll
right.
add it to the archive, which is a very rich archive now. And yeah.
Sometime we've got to go to Roborough and walk
Oh, yeah, that's
around.
the little thing we haven't
Yeah.
done. The
So,
tour of Roborough,
yeah, because
so that
you put
can
all the
really-
names and things, but I think we've
Yeah.
got to go and actually walk around, Dad.
One time
Yeah.
when there's an opportunity,
Yeah.
we will. Yeah. Thank you very much, then, to the
Thanks, Dad.
cameraman.
Yeah.
Thank you, the cameraman.
Yes, yes. And to all the extras. Very good.
Very pleasant sitting here now, isn't it? It's lovely.
Yes, yeah, that's fun with it.
So just sign off.
Mind the dog, Dad.
Cheerio.
Bye.